Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I just wanted to do a really simple video. I've been wanting to do some more videos of just like meal ideas, recipe ideas, just show you some of the things I'm making. I realized that especially when you first get diagnosed with celiac that it can be really hard just to figure out what you can eat or what you can make, and I think especially during quarantine right now a lot of people are in their kitchens and we're baking and we're cooking. I don't bake as much, I usually like to cook a lot more, so I want to do some more cooking videos too, but basically I'm just living my day. I wanted to make some banana muffins because I have some old bananas I need to use, so this is a recipe that can be banana bread or banana muffins, but basically I just wanted to make a quick video and just take you along with me just to show you that you can make gluten-free banana muffins and they can be delicious, but I want to do more of these just as I'm baking, cooking in my kitchen to show you what gluten-free looks like and how really you can eat the same things that you ate before, and just show you some recipe ideas. If you like these type of videos, please let me know. I did a survey on my Instagram a few months ago and a lot of people said they would be really interested in recipe ideas. I think that's hard in regular life anyways, just figuring out what to eat every day. That is just a challenge, but especially when you're new to eating gluten-free or just gluten-free at all and you want to know what are some good meal ideas. So today we're baking, so we're gonna make some banana muffins. I've never made this recipe before, so I hope it turns out, but I just wanted to take you along with me and we will see how this goes. Okay, first things first, we're going to preheat our oven to 325. I threw my nasty old bananas in here. I hate bananas when they're ripe like this. Threw those in here. I'm just going to use this to mash them up because I'm lazy and this is the easiest way to get them mashed. Okay, so now that I mashed up the banana, I have it in here, I'm going to add pretty much the rest of the ingredients except for the eggs into this bowl. So an entire stick of butter, which always means it's going to be good, and then 2/3 cup of brown sugar. I don't have a 2/3 cup, so I'm doing 2 1/3. Okay. Brown sugar, a teaspoon of vanilla extract. I don't know why I'm singing these ingredients. Cinnamon. Is this a whole teaspoon of cinnamon? Do I want that much? No. 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, which all I have is this like tiny thing of nutmegs, so I'm gonna really get professional, just like sprinkle some in there. Okay, and then a teaspoon of baking soda. Okay, a teaspoon of baking powder. These are basically all a teaspoon. All of them. This is a half a teaspoon, that's why I'm doing 2. The only thing that's not a teaspoon is the nutmeg, and I literally just sprinkled it. It's a 1/4 teaspoon. And then a teaspoon of salt even. Wow, that makes it really easy. It's just a teaspoon of everything. Okay, so now we're gonna beat this until smooth. Okay, that was hard to film myself dumping that in, but after I creamed together the butter and sugar, then I added the mashed banana and 2 eggs, and we're going to mix that together now. One more thing I forgot to mention, sorry, we have a little helper with us now. This recipe calls for apricot jam and honey. So I just mixed in the banana and eggs. I also added some maple syrup, which I forgot until just now, but so I did maple syrup instead of honey because I'm going to give it to her and she's not eating honey yet. So, and also I don't have honey, and maple syrup is a good replacement, I think. So maple syrup, the jam said it was optional, and I just feel like with the syrup and the sugar, it seems like it's getting really sweet. It's probably good with the jam, but I don't have that. So I just added mashed potatoes, eggs, maple syrup, and now I'm going to add the flour. So let's talk about what flour I'm using. I'm using the King Arthur flour. I think I've mentioned this flour before, but this one I really like, and I feel like it's really well priced, and I can find it either on Amazon or Target. It's just really easy to get. It's usually in stock, and I like it for a lot of stuff, and I especially like it for bread or muffins. It's my favorite. I just feel like it turns out really well. It doesn't have a strong like gluten-free flavor, so I really like this one. This recipe I'm using is actually from the King Arthur website. The recipe is just for with their regular flour, but it says you can easily replace it with this. So I really like to do that. Like if I buy a flour brand and they have a recipe, you know, you can make whatever recipe you want, but I like to do that because I feel like, I don't know, they know their own flour, so they know that this will work with that flour. But it is measure for measure, and there's like cup for cup gluten-free as well. So this is just a really easy, basic, all-purpose flour blend. And basically what measure for measure means, or when it says cup for cup, is just you can replace it in any recipe. So say, you know, your grandma has a really great banana bread recipe, but it's with regular flour. Honestly, you can always just replace it with something like this, and I think for the most part it actually turns out really well. So buying something like this and then just using in your favorite recipes, I think is a great way to start just making gluten-free. And I think getting a flour like this is a really great, easy way to start with that. So I'm going to add 2¼ cups of this to my mixture here, and then we're going to add it to the muffin pan. Okay, here we are. We have the finished banana bread muffin batter that I'm going to put in this muffin tin. So I just greased these with my coconut oil spray. This is my favorite one from trusty Trader Joe's. I pretty much use this for anything whenever I'm baking to use as a spray. I definitely use that over like Pam or any of that canola oil crap. Okay, so I'm going to add these in here. Now here's where it gets a little bit funny. My mom always makes these banana muffins that have butterscotch chips in them. And I love that. I know it's super normal to put chocolate chips in banana bread and stuff, but I love putting butterscotch chips in them. So I'm going to add butterscotch chips to some of these. I'm not going to add it to all of them because my husband hates having even chocolate chips in his banana bread. So I'll probably do half and half. So I'm going to add some butterscotch chips to some of these, and the rest just do them plain. And then I'm going to put them in the oven. We'll see for how long. I'm thinking probably like 25 minutes, 20 to 25. That usually works out pretty well. And then we'll see how these turn out. Okay, here they are. I just pulled them out of the oven after about, I think 25 minutes. I set it for 20 and then I left them in there for a minute. So I would say close to 25. The once I put butterscotch in, you can see they kind of explode, so they're not very pretty. These ones aren't super pretty either. They're different size, but they're not horrible. Like, they're not the ugliest looking muffins I've ever made. These ones definitely are, but they actually smell really good. I'm really excited to try them. So I'm going to take them out, let them cool, and then we'll taste them, and I hope that they're good. Okay, verdict on the muffins. I'm holding up a model one because I literally just ate one. So they're good. They're really good. It was a very simple recipe. I'll put the link down below if you want to use it. Like I said, the recipe does just call for regular flour, so just replace it with the gluten-free one. I do think they're really good. They're a little bit dense, so I wonder if I put a little bit too much banana. I didn't actually measure. And I also think, so the recipe called for that apricot jam, which I think if I had, I might want to add, because that seems like maybe that's a secret ingredient that makes them extra yummy. So they were really good. I'm gonna put my model muffin down. They're really good, but I do want to say one thing about gluten-free baking. So this measure for measure flour, or the cup for cup blue bag is my favorite. I think that's everyone's favorite. The King Arthur measure for measure is also really good. But one thing about these flours I want to say is you can make really good stuff with them. Like the muffins I make, cookies I've made, they're all really good, but they're just like not quite there. They're not like exactly as I want them to taste, I guess. And I think the way that you get there, if you really want to get into gluten-free baking, the way that you make stuff that like you can give to your friends and they would actually have no idea it's gluten-free is by making your own flour blend. My mom does this and she can make stuff that tastes way better than mine because I don't do this. But if you make your own flour blend, so like I think her blend has like tapioca starch, xanthan gum, buckwheat flour, sweet rice flour, all these different gluten-free flours or starches or gums that you put together and you make your own flour blend. That's how you make stuff that like tastes legit. Like it actually is a delicious roll. My mom can make really good rolls, or a muffin that doesn't taste gluten-free at all. Like I really don't think people would know, or it tastes better than the original. So when you're baking, I think that's how you really get there. Like that's how you get to the top of this doesn't even taste gluten-free. With the cup for cup and measure for measure flours, they're awesome because like when I just want to whip up some muffins and it's super easy, I don't have a lot of time with a baby running around, I just want to make some muffins, they're a great choice. And these muffins, they do taste really, really good. But I just wanted to throw in there that like, if you want to really get to that level, I don't think you can quite get there with just these like gluten-free flour blends, but they do the job for just what I want. You know, I just want a banana muffin. I don't need it to be the best in the world. They work for that. But what I'm saying is I want to eventually try to do that with gluten-free baking, is make my own flour blend, because then I think that's how you really get there, like I just said. Okay, there's my 2 cents. Thanks for joining me again in my messy kitchen with my shaky video. You know how we do it here on Gluten Free Groupie. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.